Welcome everyone. We will be discussing regular expression to DFA conversion topic in this video, and I'll take you up through a direct method of converting from the given regular expression to DFA. So the first step of converting from regular expression to DFA is construction of a tree. So to construct the tree, we will first convert from the given regular expression to an augmented regular expression. So if R is the given regular expression, we have to obtain an augmented regular expression. So this is obtained by attaching or appending a hash symbol at the end of the regular expression. After this, we need to allot position numbers to all the symbols in the alphabet. So we'll see this in a moment. And this tree which will be constructed based on the augmented regular expression, it can have leaf nodes which will be either epsilon or any symbol belonging from the alphabet set. So what is an alphabet set? It is the input symbols which a particular regular expression can have. So for example, if I have a regular expression something like this, so this regular expression states that I can have a string starting from either A or B and it should end with A. So there are two type or two characters available as the input symbols. So the alphabet set will contain A and B. So anything from this alphabet set can become the leaf node of this tree. The interior nodes can be one of these. Either it can be a concatenation node, also called as cat node. It is represented by a filled circle in the tree. Next, we can have an OR node or a union operator represented by a vertical bar in the constructed tree. And third type is a star node, which signifies the star operation in any regular expression represented by a star. So while constructing the tree, we will be scanning the regular expression in a left to right manner. And while constructing the tree, we will construct the tree from a bottom to top approach while scanning the regular expression from left to right. Now, after the DFA is constructed, after the syntax tree is constructed, the second step is construction of DFA. So to construct DFA, we will have to compute values for 4 functions. Now, the first function is called as nullable. The other value is first pause, last pause, and follow pause. So let us see what is nullable. So the value of nullable for any particular node, if we have to compute it, then it is true only for a star node. So this nullable can have two values, true or false. So only if the node is a star node, its value will be true, and for all the other nodes, the value will be false. And we'll be using this table to compute the first pause and last pause values. So initially, after the construction of tree, we will find the values for nullable, first pause and last pause. So we'll go through this table as and when we are solving the numerical. So let us consider this to be the first regular expression, and we want to convert this regular expression to DFA directly. So as we have discussed, the first step is to construct the tree, for which we will write a augmented regular expression. So to the end of this regular expression, we append a hash. So this hash is appended at the end, and we allot position numbers. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this hash represents the end of the regular expression. Now it is very important to include this hash. This we'll understand when we are done with the construction of DFA, that what is the significance of having hash and a position number to it. So we allot a position number to the symbols from the alphabet set, that is A and B, and also allot a position number to the end marker, which is hash. Now having allotted the position numbers, we will now proceed with the construction of the tree. So to construct the tree, we will scan this regular expression in a left to right fashion and construct the tree from bottom to top. So we have A and B as the leaf node. So as we have seen that these symbols from the alphabet set belong to the, or would be the leaf nodes, and these leaf nodes are connected by a OR, which will be the interior node. And this complete A or B has to be uh, getting a representation of star. So this has star connection to it. And now following this, there is no connection between A, B and C, which signifies that these have to be concatenated. So to concatenate these, we would be using uh, the concatenation operator here. To concatenate this part with A, it is further concatenated with B, further concatenated with B, and further concatenated with hash. Okay, and all these have been allotted position numbers. Right, so this is how we will be representing the regular expression in the form of a syntax tree. Now the next step is to find the value of nullable, first pause, and last pause. So what we'll do is we will allot annotations to the nodes in this tree itself and find out the value of nullable, first pause, and last pause. Okay, so what is the value of nullable? So we have seen the definition. It says that nullable is only true for star node. So corresponding to this star node, I am writing n to represent nullable. So n or nullable will be true only for this star node, and for any other node the value of nullable would be false. So we have to write false corresponding to nullable of every node. So we are allotting annotation to every node in the graph, in the tree. So everywhere the value of nullable will be false. For every node it is false except for the star node. Next we have to compute the value of first pause and last pause. So what is the value of first pause? I will now take you back to the table. So to find the value of first pos for a leaf node, if leaf node has position I, the first pos value will be that position number and the last pos value will also be that position number. So coming back here, what is the position number of this node, leaf node A? It is 1. So the first pos value will be 1 and the last pos value will also be 1. Similarly, B will have the first pos value as 2 and last pos value as 2 because the position number of B is 2. So we'll first of all write down what are the first pos and last pos values for the leaf nodes because they have to be the position numbers only. So this B has position number 4. So the first pos and last pos value will be 4. Here we'll have first pos value as 5 and last pos value as 5. And here hash will have first pos value as 6 and last pos value as 6. Now we have written the first pos and last pos values for the leaf nodes. We will now write the first pos and last pos values for the remaining nodes. So we'll first see what should be the values for OR node. So going back to the table again. So for OR node, to compute the first pos value, we have to consider the union of the first pos values of its left and right child. So this OR node will have two children. Let us call this C1 and C2, and we have to consider the first pos value of both these children, take a union to get the value here. Similarly, the last pos value will also be union of last pos values of its children. So if you see here, the left child has first pos value 1 and the right child has first pos value 2. We take a union and we get the first pos value as 1, 2. Union of last pos 1 and 2. So here again we get the last pos value as 1, 2. Now we go ahead and find the first pos and last pos values for a star node. So again going back to the table, for a star node, the first we'll have only one child and the first pos value is copied from the child node and the last pos value is copied as it is from the child node. So this star node has one child and the first and last pos values will be copied as it is. So we get 1, 2 here and 1, 2 here. And then we are left with only finding the uh, values for these cat nodes. Okay, so let us first consider this first cat node and find what will be the first pos and last pos value here. Now if you see for cat node, you have to check the value of nullable of the left child. So if nullable of left child is true, so if this value is true, then we take a union of left and right child values. Otherwise, it is taking the value only from the left child. So let us see if the left child for this node is this star node and is the nullable value true? Yes, it is true. So we will take a union of first pos values. This is 1, 2 and here we have 3. So taking the union, we get the value here as 1, 2 and 3. Now to compute the last pos values, we have to look at the nullable value of the right child, because this is C2. So looking at the nullable value of right child, only if that value is true, then we take union of the last pos values, otherwise it is last pos of the right child. So if we come here, we see the nullable value of the right child. It is not true. So we go in the else part, and the last pos value of the right child is considered. So we get the value of last pos as 3. Similarly, if we compute the values here, we will get the first pos value as 1, 2, 3. Last pos value will be 4 here. For this node, we'll get first pos as 1, 2, 3. Last pos as 5. And for the root node, we have the first pos value as 6. First pos value as 1, 2, 3. And last pos value as 6. So these will be the values of first pos, last pos and nullable attached as annotations to the tree. So this is the same thing. Now we will have to find the follow pos values. Now to find the follow pos values, we apply these two rules. Now if I have to represent these two rules in a simpler manner, I will say that. And now first of all, rule 1 is always applied to cat nodes, and I have to find the follow pos of I. So this I is basically an index value. So how do you get this value from? This belongs to the last pos value of the left child of the particular cat node which is under consideration. And this should have x. And what is x? This x is the first pos value of the right child. Okay. And this so you can have this representation with you. It will be easy to compute the follow pos. And this second rule is applied to a star node. And how it is done, we need to find follow pos of I, and here I will get its index from the last pos values of the current star node that is under consideration, and this will be equal to the first pos values of the star node under consideration. Okay, so we'll be using these two rules to compute the follow pos values. So rule number 1, as we saw, should be applied to cat nodes. So this is the first cat node, and to apply the first rule I have to, so applying the first rule, I will find the follow pos values, and I need to get this value of I. Now what is this I? I corresponding to this is the last pos value of the left child. So go to the left child. This is the left child and the last pos value is 1, 2. So I value I'll get as 1, 2. So put this here. I'll have two computations corresponding to this cat node, follow pos of 1 and follow pos of 2. And this should be equal to x, and where should I get this x value from? It is the first pos value. So go here to the right child and consider its first pos value, which is 3. So here we need to have 3. So this is 3 here and 3 here. Okay, so this comes from the first cat node. So if I call this as cat node 1. Now go to the second cat node. and find the follow pause values. So to find the follow pause, go to the left child, look at the last pause. This will give you the value of I. So this will be 3, and the value should be, go to the right child, go to the first pause here. So this is 4. So we get this as 4. So similarly for the other two nodes, when you solve, you get these two values based on the first rule. Okay, now after this we will apply the second rule and try to find out what will be the value of follow pause after the application of second rule. Now if you remember, the second rule has to be applied only to star node. So here is my star node, and if I apply it to the star node, let's see what it should be. So rule number 2 applied on the star node, you have to consider the last pause values from here itself. So that will be I. So follow pause of 1 and again follow pause of 2. And the value here should be coming in from the first pause value of this node itself. So I have 1 and 2 here. So based on rule number 2, there is only one star node. We get these two follow pause values, and these are based on the first rule. Now take a union of these two and we get the final follow pause values. So we just represent it as follow pause of node 1 will be 1, 2, 3. For node 2 it will be 1, 2, 3. 3 it is 4, and 6, follow pause of 6 was not computed anywhere, so this will remain hash. Okay, now we have computed the first pause, last pause, nullable and follow pause values. We will now use these values and do the transition. So we start the process of transitions and construction of DFA by considering the first pause value of the root node. So if you go to the tree here, the first pause value of the root node, so this is my root node, the first pause value is 1, 2, 3. So we start from 1, 2, 3 and name it state A. And we will now find what should be the transition of this state A based on the input symbols, which were A and B. So transition of A from A and B. Now what is A? A is 1, 2, 3. Now if you recollect the input which we had considered, the regular expression, it was something like this, right? So this was position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have a hash as 6. So what is this 1? Position number 1 indicates A, position number 2 indicates B, and position number 3 indicates A again. What we have to do to find the transitions, we have to take the union of follow pause values which are present in A corresponding to the position number of small a. So in A, position number 1 and position number 3 correspond to small a. So we will take a union of follow pause of 1 and follow pause of 3. So after taking the union, getting the values from this table for follow pause of 1 and 3, we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Since this is a new state, we call it B. And now if I have to find the transition of A on small b, so which position number indicates B? It is represented by position number 2. So this will be follow pause of 2, and follow pause of 2 from the table is 1, 2, 3, and this 1, 2, 3 name is already existing. Use the same name as A. Now we have a new state which is created called as B, this B on small a. So what is B? B is 1, 2, 3, 4. Inside B, which position numbers represent A? A 1 represents A, and 3 represents A. So we'll take a union of follow pause of 1 and 3. Again we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, which is B. Now transiting from B on small b. So 2 here represents B and 4 represents B. So we take a union of 2 and 4, getting a new state C. So we continue this until we do not get any new state. After we get these transitions, we will draw the DFA. So A, if you see here, on A should go to B. A on B goes to B. So similarly, you will construct the other nodes here, and based on the transitions which we have, we will construct the DFA. Which will be the initial node? It will be A. Why? Because the root is pointed by A. So there will be only one initial state, which is A. And after you completely draw this will be the DFA which you get. Now to find the final state, what we do here is, as I have mentioned in the starting, that this hash has a particular importance. So this hash has number 6. So look at all the states where 6 is present. So this 6 is contained in state D. All the states which contain the position number of hash will become the final state. So here only D is the state that contains 6. So there will be only one final state, and D will become the final state here. So this is how we convert from regular expression to DFA. I hope this is understood. Thank you. Happy learning.